do that. Humanity has obviously a lot of issues, and people at times do bad things, but despite all that, I love humanity, and I think we should uh, make sure we do everything we can to have a good future and an exciting future, and one where that maximizes the happiness of the people.
Let me ask about Crew Dragon Demo 2.
So there's actually a lot of work done by some very talented software engineers at Tesla that at a very foundational level to improve the efficiency of compute and how we use the trip accelerators, which are basically doing matrix math, dot products, like a bazillion dot products. And it's like what are neural nets? It's like and deleting a massive amount of C++ code and replacing it with a neural net. And Andre makes this point a lot, which is like neural nets are kind of eating software. Over time, there's like less and less conventional software, more and more neural net, which is still software, but it's, still comes out to lines of software. But it's more neural net stuff and less, heuristics, basically. If you're more.
And so it was an incredible journey. What I see now with everything, the hardware, the compute, the sensors, the things I maybe care and love about most is the stuff that Andre Karpathy is leading with the data set selection, the whole data engine process, the neural network architectures, the way that's in the real world that network is tested, validated, all the different test sets, versus the ImageNet model of computer vision, like what's in academia is like real world artificial intelligence. Yeah. So,
by vector space, I mean like, you've got cars and humans and lane lines and curves and traffic lights and that kind of thing. Once you have an accurate
processing an image,
yes,
yeah,
it's like because we've got 8 cameras and then there's roughly 1.5 milliseconds or so, maybe 1.6 milliseconds of latency for each camera, and so going to just basically bypassing the image processor gets us back 13 milliseconds of latency, which is important. And we track latency all the way from the possibilities are endless. Yeah, I mean it's obviously like it's not quite in Tesla's primary mission direction of accelerating sustainable energy, but it is an extremely useful thing that we can do for the world, which is to make a useful humanoid robot that is capable of interacting with human ability and reaction time much faster than a human. I mean, I think over time the autopilot full self-driving will be capable of maneuvers that are far more than what like James Bond could do in like the best movie type of thing.
That's exactly what I was imagining in my mind.
Then of course then there's going to be a case of, okay, well, we now have to prove this to regulators and prove it to and we want a standard that is not just equivalent to a human, but much better than the average human. I think it's got to be at least 2 or 3 times higher safety than a human, so 2 or 3 times lower probability of injury than a human. Before we would actually say like, okay, it's okay to go. It's not going to be equivalent. It's going to be much better.
I mean, there's because we've talked about so many inspiring things, like be useful in the world, sort of like solve problems, alleviate suffering, but it seems like connection between humans is a source. It's a source of joy. It's a source of meaning, and that's what love is: friendship, love to each other. You look at the 20th century, World War II, the cruelty, the abuse of power, talk about communism, Marxism, and Stalin.
I mean, some of these things do. I mean, if you like, there's a lot of human history, but most of it is actually people just getting on with their lives. And it's not like onions and whatever, and mayo and ketchup and mustard. It's like epic.
Yeah, but I'm sure they've had bread and meat separately for a long time, and it was kind of a burger on the same plate, but somebody who actually combined them into the same thing, and you bite it and hold it, makes it convenient. It's a materials problem.
So, like, for example, Fukushima, when the Fukushima problem happened, due to the tsunami, I got people in California asking me if they should worry about radiation from Fukushima. And I'm like, definitely not. Not even slightly, not at all. That is crazy. And just to show, like, look, this is how, like, the danger is so much overplayed compared to what it really is, that I actually flew to Fukushima, and I donated a solar power system for a water treatment plant, and I made a point of eating locally grown vegetables on TV in Fukushima. Like, I'm still alive. Okay, particles. But like that, I don't know what do you mean photons, particles? So do you mean let's say photons? What frequency or wavelength? And they're like, no, I have no idea. Like, do you know that everything's radiating all the time? Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, everything's radiating.